Hello everybody, welcome back to another Gaming Abroad. My name is Jens and we're back at it again talking about buying used games, systems, accessories, action figures, whatever we can find to build all those collections back there, or just buy whatever we are trying to buy to add to our collection. So today, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to talk about finally what's in this little box. We've been collecting for this box for a few months now. And I remember when I started this challenge, I said, you know what, I'm gonna, whatever loose games that I find, I'm gonna put in here. And we are going to use that to fund some complete in the box Super Nintendo games. And the reason I wanted to do that was because a long time ago I lost a lot of games. There was I had some games at the house, and my parents put some of them in storage, and somebody burned down one of the other units, and it just everything caught fire, everything was gone. Lost a lot of games, figures, magazines, all kinds of stuff. And I was pretty upset when it happened because they didn't tell me or didn't ask to move this stuff out of my room. But what to do, right? Stuff is gone. It's okay. Gotta build again. Gotta find a way to get those games back. So what I want to do is try to get Final Fantasy 2 for the Super Nintendo, Final Fantasy 3 for the Super Nintendo. Maybe look into Chrono Trigger, maybe that one a little bit down the road. It's getting very pricey, and a few other RPGs from Square Enix and other companies that I want to pick up. So what I've been doing is just adding all the loose games that I've been picking up over, let me see, I started in end of February. So end of February to now, we got a bunch of games in here. There are some 3DS games. Most of them are 3DS games, some Vita games, 2 Switch games, a Game Boy Advance game, and a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, so I decided to go ahead and do a video about what's in here and see how much value we have in here. I've just been tossing games like crazy in here. But there was a question asked in the comments. There was a person who asked a question about me being able to afford collecting all these things and then only being able to go home at a certain, maybe a year later. So his question was just wondering how you are able to afford keeping on buying games to flip if you only go back home once a year. So when I actually started this 2 years ago, it was during the announcement that Nintendo made. They were like, yeah, we're gonna close the eShop store and bye-bye games you can get from the eShop and blah 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 blah. So at the time, it was in here in China, we were already going through the whole COVID kind of like the true lockdown wasn't here yet, but we were already kind of like not having work from office, staying at home, having more time at home. So I decided, you know what, it'd be kind of cool to build a 3DS collection and not pay for it, just use profit. When I started that, I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I started just buying things here and there from the Shenyu app. And I just started finding some amazing deals, and I just kept picking up systems and games and accessories and action figures to where it got to the point where one day I was like, they're finally gonna allow us to go home, that we can finally travel abroad, which was this late January, early February. So I decided to kind of put everything together and decide to kind of see how much money I had invested into it. And it was a lot, guys. I kind of spent $11,000 in about less than a year, 11 months, I would say. I was pretty surprised on how much I had spent on everything I had. But at the same time, I was very surprised on the value of everything I had. I got to keep so many games for the 3DS collection, for systems, just so much stuff that I got to keep for free because of all the profit that we made from all the stuff that I took home in January, February of this year. And I'll put the video up here where I was kind of like tallying everything up. And at the end, I had like the big realization I spent too much money. So going back to the question is, how do I afford to keep buying things when I can only go home once a year? Well, it's all about now profit. After selling everything in February, I think I did like 13,000 on eBay, and I did like 3 or 4 on Mercari. So after spending around 11,000 and then selling stuff and coming back with about 17, 18, now I had profit to actually invest into everything that I bought now. So everything that I bought now has been bought with profit, and I think a little bit of money from my savings. So again, that's the way that I'm doing is, yes, I'm using the money that I have, my savings, but I'm replenishing it once I sell everything. So it's not the best way to do it for everybody, maybe. Especially when, if you can't afford to spend that much money over a long time. It's not the best way to do it, but if you're able to like buy stuff every weekend, sell it next weekend, or sell it during the week or during the month, that's a good model, you know. But now that I was able to make that profit, then I can invest more into everything I'm buying. So already me looking into what I bought for the last couple of months, it has been a lot. According to price charting, everything that I'm going to take with me has cost me about $5,000. So if you look at it, those $5,000 that I spent to buy everything that I am going to show you probably in the next video, I have bought all that with profit. I used none of my money. So all that is profit, guys, and I'm getting to keep everything else that I want to keep. So all those other systems that I also bought, I'm keeping them, right? But they're not included in that cost of $4,500. That would make the cost a little bit higher, definitely. So that's what I'm saying. I'll probably use some of my money. But yeah, that's the way that I'm kind of going to go about it from here on out, is that just I have profit that I can make. I am going to use that profit. The items that I start accumulating, I know I'm going to sell. They're going to sell because I have already taken some of these items home and similar items have sold. And that's the way I kind of think about it for now. But yep, back to the case. So got a ton of games here. But one thing I forgot, guys, is that I always had this up there on my shelf in the background before I moved houses. You can go look back at some of my videos. It's always been there. I had this one here. These are all loose games that I ended up buying also, but this was before I started the blue case. I was kind of this challenge. I was just putting them on this tablet because it kind of looks cool, right? Like to just have them like stacked up like that. So I was adding them there, and then when I was moving, I was like, wait a minute, these games should be in this case. So that's what we're gonna do today. And if you think about it, just a kind of quick look here, right? So these Pokemon games up here are 30 bucks a piece, about $30 is what they sell on eBay by. Let's say 29, let's just say 30 to make it the math easier, right? So if you look at it, 1, 2, 3, there's 4, 7, 3, 10, oh yeah, forgot that one, 11, and another 3 is 14, 14 times 30, math, 12, 300, $420, right? And just for Pokemon games. And then you got the 2 Tekkens, which I think they go for like 50 a piece, so there's probably like $500 just in loose games right here, guys. And that's why I tell you, there's value to be made in loose games. So what we're gonna do is just gonna toss them in here. And before we start looking at the total value of this is what it looks like right now. That tilted is gonna fall out. So that's what it looks like right now. There are a ton of games in here. There's a lot of 3DS games. Most of the games in this case here that you're gonna see are gonna be games that are Pokemon games. There's a lot of Pokemon for sure. They're mostly all Pokemon. There's some Mario. There's some DS games. I see a Cooking Mama game in here. There's just so much stuff in here. Pokemon Sun. I see Dead or Alive. And then there's a bunch of Bravely Default, Tekkens. Just a bunch of stuff here, guys, and we're gonna look at all of these and then see how much this is valued. And this, again, loose games, and this is part of our loose box collection, so it's gonna be kind of cool to see what we got here. So let's go ahead and spill everything out. Whoop. Here goes some of these games. Let's go ahead and kind of put the pile over here, and just put a bunch of games so we can look at them. I try to record some video of the games and what we're doing over here, but yep, here it is. Trying to do everything in one hand. So this is our pile of games right here. A lot of games, definitely there's some good value here, especially when Pokemon games can sell for up to like $20 to $30 a piece. We got a lot of work to do, so let's start piecing some of these games together and then see how much money we got that we can spend on Super Nintendo games. Like this one right here, Final Fantasy complete in the box with the map. This Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3 complete in the box with the map. These games I definitely want to add to my collection and relive some of that nostalgia, because those are games that I enjoyed a lot when I was 10, 11 years old, and there's so many memories, and it's what made me fall in love with the Final Fantasy series. My favorite composer, Nobuo Uematsu. And yeah, man, these stories were just a great part of my childhood. So let's go ahead and take a look at all these games. Alright, so we got all the games here on the table. There's quite a few of them, so let's start going through them really quickly. I'll try to group them up really quickly. So we got Fire Emblem. This one here tends to do about, I believe, like $30 loose. Let me see. And what I'm going to do is kind of plug them into, price charting. They have like a lot value calculator, so I can kind of plug them in there. And then we can kind of see at the end what total we have here. So we have Fire Emblem. First one here is going is Fire Emblem. I'll put it over here. Move this computer out of the way. I'm sure I'm gonna need plenty of room. So we got Fire Emblem. We got Pokemon Omega Ruby. So this one here sells for like 30. What do we got? We got Pokemon Sun. Sun and Moon tend to do about 18, maybe $20, anywhere between there for each one of those. So 18, let's say 18 for that one. Tekken, this is a pretty good one here. Tekken, loose copy of Tekken can go for, let me see, can go for $59 loose. So that's a good one right there to have. I'll put that down here. Bravely Default, a loose copy can probably do like around 30. I'll put the prices here as for some of them. If they repeat, I won't. Majora's Mask, this one probably close to 20, I believe. Metal Gear Solid is a good one. Loose copy can probably do somewhere in the 70s. Again, I'll put maybe the price value here somewhere. Pokemon Y, again, any Pokemon Y and Pokemon X, they tend to do about $28 to $30, so put it here. Here's another one, Pokemon Y. Another one, Pokemon Y. We got a Pokemon Sun. Just gonna kind of categorize them here. See what we end up, and then I'll plug them all into this calculator here. We got Mario Kart 7, probably like $10. Super Mario Land, probably like 10. I'll try to keep the Pokemon and everything else here separate. We got Dead or Alive, so that one should be a good one. Probably like $30, $40 for Dead or Alive. Let me take a quick look. Dead or Alive, you're looking at about $36, so pretty good there. Pokemon X, 30, we're looking at about 20, let's say 28, Pokemon X and Y. Tekken, this one again, 50 what? 55, I believe, is that what it was? Pokemon X, 28, so we got another one there. Let's go, Pokemon Y. Pokemon Y is winning the race. Omega Ruby, Pokemon X, Pokemon Y. Quite a few of those Pokemon Ys. We got Pokemon Sun, Ultra Sun. We got another Pokemon X. What do we got here? Ever Oasis. Good RPG right there. Pokemon X. Kind of go through all these games here. So another Dead or Alive here. Another Pokemon Y. So yeah, when I was hunting for these games, I was actually kind of going for the Pokemon Ys, Pokemon X's, because I was like, it was a pretty good, you know, a decent, most of them are going for 30, 28 to 30. That price hasn't changed much, so I was trying to find them for like $10 or $15, and I found quite a few. We got Alpha Sapphire. So when I was going for this challenge, I was looking for games that were at a really low price, or at least half of what I can make on them, so that there could be some investment and this challenge would kind of pay off. Pokemon X, that was my mentality. Another Pokemon X here. When I was trying to find games, that's why there's so many Pokemon, is because I knew what I was going after. I was like trying to go after as many Pokemon games as I could. Another Fire Emblem here. Pokemon Y. I was just like, you know what, Pokemon games are good. The value of Pokemon games, another Ruby, tend to hold. So when I was picking them up, I was like, that's what I'm going to go after. I'm going to go after some of these Pokemon games, and then anything else that I can find that I can, another Sapphire here is like $30 right there, that I can find, and it's a guarantee. The price will be steady, because like, again, I'm keeping these games for about a year. I'm trying to get games that the value is not going to go too high or too low, or, you know, it just devalues and I don't end up making anything out of them. Pokemon Sapphire, Moon. It's our first Moon. Okay, so make some room for Moon. Put them right here. We got Pokemon X, Pokemon Sapphire. Plus, we got another Y. Yep, running out of room here for the Ys. Another Y. Pokemon X, Pokemon Y. Pokemon X and Y seem to be toe-to-toe here. Pokemon Y, Pokemon X. We got a Cookie Mama 4. Something that's not a Pokemon game. We got Purpels. Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. Focus. Another Tekken. Right, we got Super Mario Land 3D. I think that's our second one right there. Pokemon Rumble Blast. And what do we got here? Pokemon Y. Arabian Rabbids. Mario and Luigi Dream Team. And we got some DS games. We got the Dragon Ball Attack of the Super Saiyans. We got Kirby's Canvas Curse. And not for resale, Pokemon, what is this? Ranger Guardian Science. So yeah, we got a bunch of them here. And then Tales of Symphonia. Oh no, Tales of Fantasia for the Game Boy Advance. So let me get all this organized and then we'll come right back. Alright guys, so I organized what I thought was all the 3DS games, but then I forgot these right here. So this is a little pack of games that I just kind of threw in this little case here. So there's 3 Pokemon Sun games here. Each one of these again can go for about anywhere from like $16 or $18. So we got 3 Pokemon Sun and we got 3 Pokemon Moon. So we'll go ahead and add these here to our little pile of 3DS games that we have organized as best as I could possibly organize for me to be able to put into this video. Alright, so now we have all the 3DS and DS and Game Boy games set up. Now we have, we're missing the PS Vita games that were in here, and actually, you know what? I'm missing 2 more. Missing the Switch games. Where did I put? Oh, that back here, hanging around in the back. So I do have 2 Switch games, which is Xenoblade Chronicles, the Torna, the something edition. So there's 2 of them here. So I forgot about these. So I'll add them here, and then we'll go through our PS Vita games, which we got a couple of good ones on here. Some good value with loose PS Vita games. So we got Rayman Legends, we got Ridge Racer, does pretty well. A lot of these do really well. I'll try to put the prices up here as we go. Most Need for Speed, Most Wanted. What else we got here? Rayman, another Rayman Legends. Put it closer. We got Gravity Rush. We got Rayman Origins. With Rayman Origins and Legends, they tend to do pretty well. What do we else? We got, nope, this is the memory card. What'd you get in there? We got Ninja Gaiden Plus, I think. Ninja Gaiden 2 Plus. We got Uncharted, which tends to do pretty well also. Uncharted Loose. Alright, and then we go what's in this little case here. These I got from from one guy, I believe most of them. I started buying one game, he had like really cheap, and then he just kept posting more and more, so I ended up picking up a whole bunch of these. So yeah, we got Ease Salsetta. We got Hyper Dimension Neptunia PP. Stop focusing. There we go. We got Ultra Despair Girls Danganron Rappa. What do we got here? We got Criminal Girls 2. Persona 4 Golden. Hyper Dimension Noir. Borderlands 2. Hyper Dimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. We got Dragon's Crown, great game. On any platform, play it, awesome. Reminds me of Dungeons and Dragons. Killzone. Silent Hill, Book of Memories. Street Fighter X Tekken. And we're almost done, guys. We got a 4 more. Hyper Dimension Neptunia Rebirth 2. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Steins Gate. And Lost Dimensions. Alright, so we got quite a few PS Vita games here also. These I can organize really quickly here. Right underneath this. Alright, so we got a bunch of games. Oh, we got quite a few games to be able to flip. I think this can get us some really good profit for our Super Nintendo collection that we want to buy. Again, I'm looking for Final Fantasy 2 complete in the box and 3 complete in the box. But I think we got more. We can afford maybe another 1 or 2 games here. Definitely, we have a lot of value on these games. Just look at the collection here of Pokemon games that we got. Just Pokemon X, they're doing really well. Then we got Pokemon Y. Then we got Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby, 1 copy of Ultra Sun, a couple of Pokemon Suns, some Pokemon Moons, and then we got all the different various Dead or Alives, Fire Emblems, Tekkens, Marios, Bravely Default, Metal Gear, some DS games, those 2 Switch games, and then of course we got all these amazing PS Vita games that a lot of people would buy. What do you call it? They would buy them when they are not completing the box. So a lot of these games here do pretty well on eBay, so definitely I'm gonna go ahead and put these on there. What I'm trying to do is on these Pokemon games, usually what I did, which worked pretty well last time, is bundle some of these Pokemon X games together. So I bundled like some of the X and Y and Sapphire and Ruby and things like that, and they tend to do pretty well when you bundle them together. People are more inclined to pick them up as a bundle, as a set. So that was pretty cool. So all these games right here, guys, we got quite a few, is what's gonna fund this challenge that we created. And that challenge was that whatever loose games we picked up, we would just throw in on this case here, which is now empty. And we're gonna use this profit here on this from these games to be able to buy some Super Nintendo games. And if you think about it, most of these games here were bought with profit that we used from what we made from the first time we took all these games to sell at the beginning of the year. So definitely I gotta plug all this into price charting, the calculator that they have, and kind of figure out what the total of this is. So I'll be back here in a little bit. All right, you should be seeing my screen here. Finally plugged everything in. There's quite a few games on here, lots of stuff to talk about. So definitely we just really picked up a lot of games over the last couple of months that we can add, and you'll be seeing on here, this is the price charting lot calculator, and I started plugging in all the Pokemon X, Ys, Omega Rubies. They're in no particular order. It's just me plugging them in as I was putting them in the collection, pulling them out of the box. So yeah, these are all the games we got here. So as you can see, Pokemon X is going for like $26, Pokemon Y $28, Omega Ruby $28. So a lot of these do pretty well. Tekken, you can see here, is $60 loose. Again, just tons of games. Alpha Sapphire, the Xenoblade Chronicles, about $39. Pokemon Moon, 16. Ys. Dead or Alive at 36. Pokemon Suns. We got quite a lot of profit here, guys, that we can definitely use. We got Fire Emblem Awakening, Ever Oasis, Super Mario Land 3D. So much. Purpels, Perfection, Cookie Mama, Mario Karts, Rayman Legends. Again, and now we start getting into the PS Vita games. We got Ridge Racer here. So as you can see, there's some good profit to be made by loose PS Vita games. Definitely, especially some of these here. Criminal Girls, Steins Gate, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. But yeah, these Hyper Dimension ones do pretty well. Lost Dimension, as you can see. So pretty good value, guys. I mean, I'm pretty impressed about what the grand total of this lot of games here, which is tons of Pokemon games, lots of Vita games. And I think that we're definitely going to be able to pick up some games for free, which is pretty much what we're doing in this channel, is just collecting as many of these games that we can find for an amazing price, make some profit, use that profit to be able to buy these games for free. So what is that grand total? Let's go ahead and take a quick look and look at how much all these games here on this table are valued. So what do you think? Maybe pause the video, take a quick guess. Because I was nowhere near this total, so my total was around at least $1,500. So I was like, yeah, it's about $1,500 in this box before I put everything in there. But our grand total, according to price charting, is $2,579.85, which is the total value of all these games. So if I stick to my plan, which I said that when I bought these games, I wanted to pay a good price for them, less than half of what they're worth. I'm pretty sure a lot of these games, a lot of them I got at really good prices, at really low prices, even less than half. But for sake of time and just kind of guessing maybe where we're at, I'm gonna say that I invested at least $1,200 into these games here. I'm pretty sure if I go back through all the videos, I can kind of maybe come around with a total like that, because a lot of these I paid at a really good price, especially like Metal Gear. I didn't pay no $35 for it. I think I got it. It was a loose copy of Metal Gear. I got it for like 15, right? And then the Tekkens, some of them I got for like 100 RMB, which is $15, and they're worth 59. So that's where I kind of say maybe like 1200 RMB or even less. I'm pretty sure less, but we're just gonna stick with 1200 is what we need to take back from the value of this. And yeah, so let's go back to gents on the desk. Well guys, as you can see, we got quite a bit of funds to be able to work with to go ahead and get those Super Nintendo's games for free. So I'm definitely excited. I can't wait to go home, sell some of these things, and pick up these complete in-the-box Super Nintendo games so that I can add to my Super Nintendo collection over there and have a little bit more of the RPGs that I lost. So that's really exciting. That's gonna be something that I was really looking forward to adding. So anyways guys, I got a question for you. Since we do have this giveaway that we're gonna do, it's a Nintendo 3DS, the original 3DS model. It's a black one. It has a Metal Gear like cover on it. I'll try to put like a little picture of it here that I have. And yep, we're gonna go ahead and give away this system, and all you have to do is make sure that you're subscribed, make sure you hit the like button, you ring that notification bell, and you comment down below to this question and answer. If you were out and about shopping, looking for games, flipping games, or just randomly at a store, what is one game that you wish you could find that would be underpriced, that you have some sort of attachment to? For me, it would be, again, any of those, either Final Fantasy 2 or Final Fantasy 3, because Final Fantasy 2 was the first game in the series that I ever played. Bought it at a pawn shop. It was just a game, no box, no manual, nothing. I didn't know anything. I think I was like 10 years old or 11 when I bought it. Took it home, I popped it in, and I was like, this is the worst game ever. But I threw it in the closet. I said, forget this game. Eventually one day I ran out of games to play. I pulled it out and I said, you know what? I put it on the Super Nintendo and played that game, and I was like, wow, this is one of the best games ever. The music, the characters, the story. I got hooked, and then I was reserving part 3. As soon as that one was coming out, I remember my parents had a heart attack because I reserved it at the mall at a small little corner game shop, and it was expensive. It was like $90, and my parents were having a heart attack that I went and reserved it without asking them. They even tried to return it to the store, but I phoned the guy and told him, hey, don't give up, just tell him no, you cannot return it, tell him no, blah 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 blah. And yeah, you know, he won the argument. Parents came back with my game, lectured me about spending money, and then gave me the game, and that was how I got Final Fantasy 3. But anyways guys, let me know in the comments what game would be the one game that you wish you could just walk into a Goodwill or a thrift shop or what is it, a swap meet, and that you can find for a very low price, not to flip, but maybe just to relive some of the nostalgia, or maybe you have a connection to that game. Let me know. I will pick one person from the comments and give away this 3DS that I've been holding on to in the US, and I will go ahead and ship it out to you. You can contact me. You can contact me via Instagram. I'll go ahead and start adding my Instagram to this so that we can go ahead and communicate. Anyways guys, until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you again.